Welcome back, everybody, to another movie news segment. Real Chums movie news.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But we're excited for this one. It's been we got a little off last week just because it was my birthday and a lot of stuff happened. Hey, another year older and another year wiser. So, but we're excited to be talking. There's not a ton of news today this week, but we wanted to jump in on a couple of things. So, first up is Sony delays.
Yeah. So I'm sure you'll be sad about this, but Kraven, the movie you've been hotly anticipating for.
I was actually cried myself to sleep the day I found out.
So that's been delayed.
Yeah.
From August 30th to December 13th. And then the other one that they announced, Sony, this is Sony, right? Is the the kids of the Karate remake. You know they're making this, right?
I did hear about this. I didn't know much about it other than
Ralph Macchio, the
kid,
and then Jackie Chan and the Smith kid are coming back. Side note, we should come up with a fun name for this movie. The Karate Kids.
I bet isn't Karate Kids the old school?
No. The new Karate Kid was
No. I'm saying like you remember those three kids that are
no, those were the three ninjas. The three kid ninjas?
I thought it was karate. I thought it was.
I think it was just called the Three Ninjas. Three ninjas. Yeah, you had three ninjas, then three ninjas
kick back.
Yeah.
Okay, so
anyway,
Karate Kids.
Karate Kids. Sony, if
to karate or not karate.
To karate, the Karate Kids. To karate or not to karate.
Dad, I just want to play piano.
Anyways, that's been pushed back from December of this year, December 13th, to May of next year.
Okay.
Yeah, interesting.
It is very interesting. Let's follow this up with the other thing that comes from Variety.
But hold on.
Oh.
I have a theory as to why they're doing this.
Okay.
One, no one wants Kraven.
No one wants Kraven. Except for Kraven.
And two, I feel like they're doing I think they're trying to follow Aquaman. Which Aquaman released in December and it was just a quiet hit. It made good money. This last one too. I mean, obviously the first one hit $1 billion.
Yeah.
Right. This last one, I think they just dropped it in December, same time, and it went on for a while. No one was really talking about it, but people were watching it, and it made a lot of money again. And I wonder if they're trying to replicate that success
by moving it and
by dropping it in December.
Okay.
And then just it sits for the holidays.
Yeah,
people go and watch. Oh, what are we watching?
There's there's a gap in some, but it's rated R. So you can if it is rated R, that means it might be better for their play out because it dropped it in during December, where maybe not as many movies are going to come out, and so it picks up steam between people who are they have time off, let's go hang out with friends, let's go watch something.
I mean, the big things coming out in December is Sonic the Hedgehog, the third one.
Oh man, that'll win.
That'll win. You have the Mufasa Lion King, which every family is gonna go see that.
I'm not gonna go see it.
I'm not gonna go see it. You have the animated Lord of the Rings, which I'm so excited for this. The War of the Rohirrim. Oh, dude, this is. Oh, we'll talk about this in another video. I am so excited about this.
I didn't know about this.
Yeah. So remember, There's probably some Lord of the Rings fan right now who's going to be yelling at me for not knowing the names. Okay, in the second movie,
yes,
you have what's his face, the king.
Yeah. Okay.
Not Boromir.
No, don't be wrong. Yeah, I know the king. The guy who's super.
Viggo Mortensen's character.
Yeah.
Wow, I
can't.
Don't yell.
Hey, listen. I hear you guys. Please keep it down on the keyboards. Don't break them.
But anyways, he goes to that one town full of blonde people, and then they go over to Helm's Deep to protect Helm's Deep. The whole town moves over there. Right? That's what this animated movie is about. Is that war, that first war that protected them in Helm's Deep?
Oh, cool.
I believe. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's what it is. Anyways, it's animated, and I'm all here for it. But I think those are the big movies that will dethrone Kraven. But Kraven will just kind of quietly sit there. I think that's a strategy they're going for.
There's going to be a Power Rangers movie too?
I guess.
Apparently somewhere. Look, I'm all for Power Rangers, man. It brings nostalgia to my life a little bit. I always think about my kids not waking up. They wake up to watch Bluey. I woke up to watch Power Rangers.
I woke up to watch Power Rangers.
My priorities were not as great.
Wow.
In any case, the other thing that we wanted to touch on with the fact that with some of the delays on Sony, was the fact that Variety came out with a wonderful article. We'll leave it in the show notes, but down in the doobly-doo, but is politics in movie. The headline is actually not that. Is that what it is? No. Yeah.
So the headline is, politics in Hollywood, how election looms, and how politics can seep into movies, whether Hollywood likes it or not. So the whole article really is focusing on the fact that it's campaign year. Look, we don't talk politics on our podcast, whatever. But there's this looming fear from studio executives, of releasing any kind of movie a comment in a movie, a joke that might piss off
one side or
the other, right?
Yeah.
And making it seem like you're taking a stand.
Yeah, I mean, they in the article they go on to talk about the Little Mermaid, the Lightyear spinoff.
Because Little Mermaid was that's just way too woke. People, man.
We both went and saw Little Mermaid, and we were blown away.
We loved it.
Oh, yeah.
I had a good time.
I had a way good time. I mean, Stranger in the World as well as Sound of Freedom. Like, although it had a huge rise for Angel Studio, big success for a small studio like them. I don't know if I can call them small. They've done a really great job with their studio, but due to controversy with everything around some of the individuals involved with the film. Anyways, it seems I think it's an interesting article. To me, one of the biggest things is that the one thing I do agree on is the fact that movies are a way for people to escape. Civil War, I think people were hesitant with Civil War because they were a little worried. I went and saw it. I was worried about it. It's actually really disengaged from what it could have been.
Yeah.
And I really appreciated that. I think we don't really know what caused this Civil War. There's a lot of stuff that's happening. It's just it's one of those movies where it's kind of like a 3:10 to Yuma, where they're trying to get to a location, which is always really great, brings a lot of tension. It's more of a journalistic standpoint film, but here's the thing though: is we look last year, we had with the rise of AI, and yet movies had a huge influence with AIs being involved.
Sure.
In some of the plots. And so, how do you anticipate? There is, they said, it's really hard to anticipate that sort of movement. And so, being maybe cautious or worrisome, especially, going into the thing.
There's a comment here by an executive that says, quote, "If people either legitimately or accidentally read a political bias in something, it screws up the marketing plan. It was hard enough before people got extremely sensitive about every little thing."
Here's the I think what's difficult, I think, for now studios across the board is that I worked in news for 2 years. Okay, I know how aggressive people can get online, and it's not because they're actually care. It's they're alone and by themselves, so they feel there's this level of empowerment that they say things that they probably shouldn't ever say.
Yeah, and obviously anonymity is
anonymity to a degree, right? Depending on what platform you're on. And so the fact that and then once it gets started, there's the people who try to they add gasoline to the fire. And so it sucks, but that we live in this climate, especially with people who are just waiting for that. They're just waiting for that perfect storm to enable something. I don't know. I think it's a pretty interesting read. It's pretty, it's opinionated with some decent quotes and some thoughts on it. Interesting take from Variety, I will say, though.
Yeah, and I think the main takeaway from here is that they point out that week of election week, everyone has moved. Studios have moved release dates and are working around that date, right? You had Venom that was going to debut on the 8th, but then they moved that to October, right? And then you have no major movies. They say no major movies are on the calendar for the first week of November, and there won't be another tentpole until Gladiator 2 on November 22nd, followed by Wicked and Moana 2 on the 17th.
I mean, that's a pretty prime time to get things into theaters. To prep holiday season, which means it will, like, December could see a big box office fights.
Yeah.
As studios try to begin to figure things out.
It's an interesting, like you said, climate where now studios have to really, during election years, during November of election years, really like move things around to not piss people off or lean one way or another. So
kind of tragic. Yeah. All right. Next up, I kind of want to just talk about Knuckles. Look, Knuckles was released. This is a series done in connection to Sonic 1 and 2 and in the upcoming Sonic 3.
You watched it?
I have not watched. I haven't watched all of it.
Okay. Yeah.
But I left through from the by the Guardian, pretty decent. The reason I want to bring this up is because, one, this is how you do a TV series that's connected to movies. You bring the voice actors from the majority from the cast from the movie.
Yeah.
You dedicate actual resources to it, and you dump it all at once. And you can just binge it and
revisit it,
and you can revisit it, and you can develop a bigger character connection because Sonic's back, like
everyone's back except for Jim Carrey, who'll come back for the third movie,
exactly, and which is great because like it's not like you want Jim Carrey for like you want the big villain for those things,
movie,
right? Because I'm still all the way there. I mean, there's quirkiness to it. It feels like a Sonic, child, kiddish, but at the same time, there's some good little quips that I think are phenomenal, especially for Sonic fans out there.
Yeah,
I'm just impressed. I think the fact that Paramount Plus committed to this is awesome. I hope that they probably won't do this, but I would love to see it on other platforms because I think people would really, really enjoy it.
Oh, see the series on another platform. Yeah, I doubt it.
Yeah, I doubt it too.
I did see an interview from what's his face that does the voice of
Idris Elba.
No, Sonic.
Oh yeah, I can't remember his name.
Anyway, on the red carpet, there, like he's talking about the fact that like it's fun. It's unique. The fact that they've made 3 movies, right? And making 3 movies and then a TV show.
It's 6 episodes.
And the possibility, he says, like there's a whole universe. We could make TV shows of multiple characters.
Yeah.
And then just tie back into the movies. Like the possibilities are endless with this IP.
Oh, 100% endless. They literally and the fact that they said let's do it justice. I mean, 6 episodes, all 30 minutes long. So it's easy digestible for you. I can binge it in a weekend.
This is perfect. I want to watch it now.
And so, to me, I'm like, Paramount, they have something great. Yeah. And if they can hold on to that and they can let the creators that are running it really dictate that, they have themselves a really great opportunity to not only bring new subscribers, but at the same time be able to sell merch and prep people and get people excited for the movie.
Yeah. No.
Pretty awesome.
Genius.
Super good stuff. I just think it's warranted, especially when you see Disney struggling back to back to really nail down all sorts of their TVs and movies together.
Yeah.
Last thing.
I want to talk 28 Years Later casting. This is the sequel to 28 Days Later. Did you ever see this?
I did not see this.
I started watching this maybe 15 years ago. And I was like, oh, I got scared. I was a kid. And I was like, maybe not. Obviously, it has...
what's his name?
Our homeboy...
Yeah. Cillian
Murphy, right? He hasn't been... There was rumors that he had been cast for the sequel. He hasn't been confirmed. But a couple days ago, they announced that Jodie Comer, Ralph Fiennes, and Aaron Taylor Johnson are confirmed in this.
Okay.
And this is a sequel. This is a planned trilogy now. So they're doing the second one. And then Nia Costa has been tapped to direct the third one. Now,
28 decades later?
28 decades later? Maybe.
Well, this one's 28 years later.
Right.
So...
Good joke. I like it. No, I think this is great. I'm excited for this. Like, I want to go back and like finish that first one.
I remember. I mean, I was looking at the poster for this. I'm like, oh, I know this poster. It's iconic. I think, but I've never even.
You knew that this was. I don't know if you knew. Obviously directed by Danny Boyle, but written by Alex Garland, who obviously did the Civil War movie. Yeah. A million other things. Mm-hmm. I think it's great that Alex Garland is like willing to come back for this and like say, let's continue this story.
I think it's, I mean, I think it's awesome to bring, like, to take an IP that, or like a movie that was kind of brought out and then revisit it several years later, after, especially with, you know, getting seasoned, more other actors that, like, you know, maybe have like loved the first one and are just excited to be part of this as a comeback.
Yeah.
I think about I Am Legend.
Oh yeah.
That one's we're supposed to be getting a second one with that, but with Michael B. Jordan and Will Smith. I think that to me, just like, again, just like, what can we do to, because these are all movies that like had good bases that we could like open up new stories with, which is really great.
Yeah.
So, pretty sweet.
That's it for this week. Comment below. Let us know what you think. Always remember to like, subscribe. We have a weekly podcast where we talk movies, some of our favorite movies.
Yeah, actually, this is news. So we've realized that to fit this our shooting and editing schedule, we're going to be releasing movie news on Tuesdays, and we'll release movie trailers, reactions as quickly as we can. When we can get to them. If we can't get the specific way, we probably won't do them, but we'll get as many as we can. And then on Saturdays is when we're going to be doing the new podcast release. So we're going to be changing some of that. We will have some information across the channel, but we wanted to let you guys know here who are watching the news.
Yeah. And so, go check out, go see all these suggestions over here. Like, go see what you like, and comment below.
Later.
Bye.